Ready.org. And we are back. So every week we set the table, or at least that's what we call it, when we bring a mindful or consciousness practice, an emotional something that we're carrying, a mental stumbling block, anything that allows us to come to the table with a more clearer consciousness, a more lighter level of mindfulness, allowing us to cast that one ripple of goodness out into the proverbial ocean. So, this week, I wanted to bring the power to walk away. Now, for a lot of us, we often struggle with when to say when. How do you know it's the time to walk away? How do you know that you've put in enough work, or that you've even gotten the lesson that you need to learn at the place that you're at? How do you know when to say when to walk away? Kenny Rogers has a famous song, knowing when to hold 'em, knowing when to fold 'em, knowing when to walk away. Never counting your blessings when you're sitting at the table, right? But why not? The table is the best place for you to count your blessings. And sometimes in counting our blessings, that's when we get to learn at the most that perhaps the greatest lesson that we came to learn in any particular situation may have been reached. Now, for many of us, we are oftentimes plagued with having enough spiritual discernment to feel comfortable to make decisions, not only for other people, but for ourselves. Do you know yourself enough? Do you trust yourself enough? What if things don't work out? Will you continue to punish yourselves? The thing that I pride myself on is being someone who has an indelible relationship in the spiritual realm. A relationship that I take really seriously, so therefore, it never really bothers me when I have to make real decisions for myself. Only in the realm of when they are decisions that go against what I naturally want, right? That's when it gets harder. That's when I start to question things, because if I have to do something that is outside the realm of what I want, then that's when the discomfort comes in. The first place that you have to get to is trusting yourself enough. See, it's never about the decision working out in your favor, because whatever it works out to be will always be in your favor. It's trusting enough that regardless of what decision you make, you'll end up on the right side of it. And that's oftentimes where the fear comes in. What if I make a decision and don't end up on the right side of it? What's the right side? Is it the side that you get to orchestrate from top to bottom? And you get to decide of your own fruition how every single moment works out? You and I both know that we don't have that kind of control. That kind of control is relegated to God. See, a large part of the problem is relinquishing that control, knowing that regardless of any decision that you make, the universe, God, whoever, has your back. Do you trust that? Or are you worried that you have to orchestrate every single moment of your life in order to get your desired outcome? never easy to know when to walk away. And the same could be said for when you're sitting at the table of life and you're dealing a winning hand. When is enough enough? It is imperative that you be able to really not just be the type of person that can come in and take the temperature, but to set the temperature in your life. And unfortunately, that doesn't always mean that you get to orchestrate every moment. Some moments are about just tapping into the reality of now, setting it and forget it. Yes, set it and forget it, girl. Set it and forget it. See, there's nothing wrong with plans. There's nothing wrong with writing things down. But you have to always remember, we don't get to control every aspect of our lives. And sometimes we have to make those hard decisions. And walking away oftentimes is one of those hard decisions. But what if this happens, or what if that happens? The what ifs can go miles and miles. But the anxiety of holding on and trying to orchestrate the unknown has never really worked for anyone. Not a winning formula at all. So, how do you trust yourself? There's not 5 simple ways for trust, or the 3-day cure for trusting yourself. You trust less of yourself and more of what life has to give to you. You trust that life is for you. You trust that the universe is for you. Therefore, you can set it and forget it. You can make goals. You can walk away. You can invest. You can do all those things because it's the way that you think about things. None of us really ever know when is the right time to do anything, to be honest with you. But what I always carry with me is that the universe is more for me than against me. Therefore, I have no problems in being able to trust when it's time to walk away. Can you trust yourself? As always, I love you guys for listening. Thank you. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be back here next week. Listen, if you ain't at the table, you're on the menu. So you know what time it is. I love you. Peace.